Hey, today I'm going to tell you why sex addicts lie. And it's not what you probably think it is. It actually starts with a lie to themselves. My name's Russell Beebe. I'm a certified sex addiction therapist, and hope you enjoy this video. First, I want to provide an important disclosure here. Just because I'm talking about why it is that a sex addict lies, and this was true for me in my own recovery as well, just because I'm talking about that and I'm explaining how it's part of sex addiction doesn't make it okay. So if you're a partner, if you're a family member, if you're a person who's been harmed by someone's compulsive sexual behavior, just because I'm talking about it, I don't want you to feel like I'm justifying what they're doing by lying. They're actually hurting themselves, they're hurting everybody else, so it's not okay, and they should be held accountable to being a truthful human being. The reason a sex addict lies is because their behavior is so absurd and so shameful, and they have so much inner turmoil around it, that they have to tell themselves a lie just to justify lying to others about their behavior. So the first lie that they tell themselves is that after this time, I'm going to stop for good. Therefore, I don't have to tell anybody. So in other words, they keep telling themselves perpetually over and over again. This is what I would do. I would act out. I would just go through the ritual and the trance of acting out behaviors that I had. And the whole time I'd be telling myself, once I'm done with this acting out episode, I'm going to stop for good. And then in my mind, I thought, if I just stop now, I'll just keep this secret until the end of my life and I don't need to tell anybody. The problem is tomorrow never came. So tomorrow would come, I'd make that promise after that sexual acting out binge, and then tomorrow would come and then the obsession would hit me and I'd act out again. And I did this for days and weeks and months and years and on and on and on and on and on. And every single time I did it, as the behaviors escalated, as I started doing different types of things, I had to actually lie about what was actually going on. But the problem was I was telling myself the lie that if I just stop tomorrow, then I don't need to tell anybody about this because everything will be okay and I'll move forward into the future without acting out. Everything will be fine. And I just kept telling myself that lie over and over and over again. So sex addicts do that. They keep promising themselves they're going to stop, and they're not able to, because that's what an addiction is. An addiction is an inability to stop despite a desire to do so. So they persist in this, and as time goes on and things happen out there, they have to lie about their behavior. When they get in trouble, they lie about it. When they're somewhere where they shouldn't be and they come home and their partner asks where they were, they have to lie about it, because if the partner knew, in their mind, they tell themselves this wouldn't be okay, right? So we keep telling ourselves a lie that tomorrow I'm going to get it together. The problem is tomorrow never comes. Tomorrow is just another day to act out. And then the other lie that sex addicts tell themselves is that if people knew the truth about what was going on, they knew the truth about the addiction, they would leave me, or they would abandon me, or they would be super upset. Now, there's truth to that. So, when we come out with our addiction and we finally get honest with ourselves and with others, the reaction from others sometimes can be shock, especially from an intimate partner, which is completely understandable given the things that we do. But we tell ourselves, I need to hide what I'm doing. I need to lie. I need to not tell the truth, because if I do, I'm going to hurt my partner, I'm going to hurt other people. And the truth is, that lie that we keep persisting in is actually making us sicker and sicker, and it's perpetuating the addiction. The addiction is a symptom of a deeper issue. It's a symptom of lying and fear and false beliefs, all these kind of internal reactions to life that we have. And if we're going around lying to ourselves and lying to others all the time, it just creates this restless, irritable, and discontent. It doesn't align with our morals. It doesn't align with what we feel like we should be doing. And that perpetuates the addiction, because that inner pain we actually feel that we're just stuffing down inside of ourselves is something that only acting out actually gives us relief for. And the acting out gives us temporary relief. We make that promise we're never going to do it again, and then we persist in the lie, and the cycle of addiction just goes on and on and on. The part of the reason we lie is because we think if we told others, it would hurt them, or it would cause a reaction that we feel like we wouldn't be able to handle. So we persist in that lie, and if I'm going to lie on this, I'm going to stop this tomorrow, I'll get my shit together tomorrow, and everything will be okay, right? And I'll just move into the future and everything will be okay. But again, tomorrow never comes. Hey, if you're enjoying this video, please be sure to comment below, like the video, and even subscribe. When you do that, more people see the video and more people can be helped by the comment. So go ahead and like, subscribe, and if you feel comfortable, make a comment below. Let us know what you think. So to sum up, the sex addict initially lies to themselves, telling themselves, if I tell the truth, I'm going to cause a lot of damage. If I just stop tomorrow, I don't have to tell the truth. And so they persist in these lies for years and years and years. And what usually happens is, and this is most of the time what happens, a partner, an intimate partner, a spouse, finally finds out what's really going on, and then all of a sudden this truth gets out, and what happens with the partner is they have this sort of PTSD. They call it betrayal trauma. They have this PTSD reaction because the sex addict, they just found out all of this stuff that they didn't know about, and it's just the choices for herself and her life. So these lies that we tell actually make matters worse, not only for the people in our lives, but ourselves too, because as I said earlier, when we lie to ourselves and we lie to others, we contravene our innermost alignment with what is right and just, and it creates that restless, irritable, and discontent, and we act out more because we have all this inner pain, all this damage we've caused, all these secrets, all these lies. And the only relief that we know as a sex addict is to go and act out. Gives us temporary relief. We lie to ourselves again, tell ourselves we're never going to do it again. We lie to others, and it just compounds all the pain and misery for ourselves and other people in our lives. So unfortunately for the sex addict, one of the only ways to really recover from this is to get honest. One, get honest with yourself that I keep lying to myself. I keep telling myself I'm going to stop this. I'm not able to do it on my own. Stop being dishonest about yourself about that thing. And then stop telling yourself that if I told other people what was going on, bad things would happen. People would leave me. I would be abandoned. It doesn't matter, because here's the thing. Eventually this is going to escalate. Addiction is progressive, and eventually people are going to find out. At any point in this addiction, you can make a decision to get honest about your behavior. Now, let's be clear. Not necessarily saying that you should go out and tell your partner everything and dump everything on them, but get honest that you have this addiction, get honest to get some help from it, and then work with a professional that can help you do a disclosure with your partner so that you can actually deliver the truth to somebody in a therapeutic way. That's what we call a therapeutic disclosure. So I'm not saying like today run off to your partner and tell them the truth, but just to get on, what I am saying is get honest with yourself, start getting help, start working through what might be a disclosure for a partner in your life, that you can learn the best way working with a professional to deliver that information to them. But my experience is that most men do not recover from this unless they get honest with themselves and to some degree get honest with others in their life. Then when they do that, it's just like, okay, now the cat's out of the bag and I can work on this. And just admitting that we have this, getting honest that we really need help to work through this addiction is really the first step in recovery. And then everything is possible after that. Now, getting into recovery is another thing. So it is not easy. You do need professional help. So that's what we do in my program. I have a 12-week program. There's a continuation option there. We work with men with sex and porn addiction. We help them recover because it's an addiction. You know, you just making a decision to stop is what you've tried to do before and been unable to do it. So if you found that you've tried to stop many, many times and found that you couldn't do it, that's what an addiction is. So if you do, you actually need support, and it's very helpful to get that in the form of some type of program. So what we do, we don't do therapy, like one-to-one therapy, because we found that that wasn't exactly effective for this. We have a 12-week intensive program. It's all online. There's a community of other men going through the same thing. There's a curriculum that walks through the recovery process. You have a high level of access to myself and my staff, and we do what you need to do to recover from this and answer all your questions and really help a lot of people, a lot of men recover from sex and or porn addiction. If you're interested in that, check in the description below. There's a link to my website. You can book a call with us. See on that call if this would be a good fit for you, and we talk about what it would look like working together. If not, go to the website anyway, check out some of the blogs, some of the videos, and let us know what you think. Talk soon.